For some people, the process seems easy. They travel through life with single-minded, laser-like focus and achieve almost everything they set out to try. But for many others, the process is a lot harder. If you find yourself stumbling through life without clear direction or a sense of what you really want out of life, then Brian Tracy is ready to help you out. In Goals, one of his many bestsellers, Tracy shows you how to get everything you want out of life, both personally and professionally, faster than anyone around you will ever believe. His simple, powerful system gets results, plain and simple, and it's the secret behind his own personal rags to riches story that started him out in life as a disadvantaged teenager to a successful business person, author, and speaker. Deciding to make a change for the better, Tracy started his journey by turning his life around by learning about personal development. And throughout his long career, he's experienced almost unimaginable success. And best of all, you too can create a similar story for yourself, so long as you actively work towards your goals like he did. Throughout Goals, you'll learn what it takes to make your dreams a reality. And by following Tracy's strategies for success, you'll gain insight about making seemingly unobtainable goals a reality for you, all while building up your own self-confidence and your own ability to overcome obstacles. So if you're ready to learn how to start moving in the direction of your deepest held dreams and desires, then Goals will equip you with the tools you need to succeed. Here's what you'll learn about specifically in this book summary. Why writing down your goals every day is one of the most powerful strategies you can start implementing to achieve them. The straightforward strategies for skyrocketing in your career and joining the ranks of the top 10% in your field. And the reasons why your life feels like driving in heavy fog, and the simple strategies that allow you to clear that fog away and achieve your biggest goals. Crucial quotes. Quote, "What I learned early on is that any plan is better than no plan at all. And it is not necessary to reinvent the wheel. All the answers have already been found." Brian Tracy. Quote, "It's the constant and determined effort that breaks down all resistance, sweeps away all obstacles." Claude M. Bristol. Quote, "The most essential factor is persistence, the determination never to allow your energy or enthusiasm to be dampened by the discouragement that must inevitably come." James Whitcomb Riley. A quick tweetable summary before we dive into the big ideas. Becoming a success and achieving your goals is all about taking small steps on a daily basis. Big idea number 1. Clarify what you truly want. Quote, "When you are absolutely clear about your goal, you do not even have to know how to achieve it. By simply deciding exactly what you want, you will begin to move unerringly toward your goal, and your goal will start to move unerringly toward you. At exactly the right time and in exactly the right place, you and the goal will meet." Unquote. There's one thing that all successful people have in common. They're all intensely goal-oriented. For most things in their lives, they know exactly what they want, and they focus single-mindedly on pursuing it on a daily basis, every day. And because their goals are so well articulated, they're more likely to achieve them. The plain and simple fact of the matter is this: not having concrete goals is a huge disadvantage. In fact, living without goals, according to what Tracy tells us in the book, is like driving through thick, heavy fog. You can't see through it. You can't see where you're going. No matter the make or model of your car, you'll drive slowly, tentatively, with hesitation along the road because you can't see in front of you, making little progress even on easy parts of the journey. But by contrast, having clear goals, having a clear, articulated vision causes the fog to disappear, making it simple to just race forward in the direction of your success. Having clear goals will increase your confidence. It'll boost your motivation and develop your competence. In many ways, clear goals are the fuel that feeds the furnace of success. Your mind has the incredible ability to cause you to accomplish far, far more than you ever dreamed possible. And if you clarify exactly what you're working towards, you're almost certain, it's almost certain that you are going to achieve it. This is an automatic and continuous process. It's ongoing. However, few people ever really clarify what their goals are, and their loftiest dreams become things like watching TV every night. By dreaming bigger and mentally equipping yourself to work towards your dreams, you'll be amazed at what it's possible to accomplish. So develop an intense, burning desire for accomplishing your goals within yourself, and you'll soon find the energy and drive to make them a reality. If you haven't already figured out what it is that you want, what goals you'd like to accomplish, take a moment, pause this for a moment, and consider writing them down. Consider making a list of your top goals that you'd like to accomplish in each major area of your life. Consider picking the one most important thing, both personally and professionally, in your relationships with your family, in your role as parent, for example, in the role that you have at work or in your business, or the career ambitions that you aspire to become one day and start living one day, embodying one day. Write that one big goal down in each area of your life, in your health, spirituality, emotionally, financially, physically, all of those major areas, and pick one most important thing and consider writing that down right now. Big idea number 2, determine what your goals are. Quote, realize what you really want. It stops you from chasing butterflies and puts you to work digging gold. William Moulton Marston. The level of clarity that you give to your goals and the amount you actually accomplish are directly correlated with one another. In fact, the ability to set goals is one of the biggest skills of success in the first place. When you set goals, you realize that it's possible for you to actually accomplish them. You release floods of ideas, dreams, and energy from within yourself to work towards those goals. Without concrete goals, you just float through life solely on the whims of your current mental state. If you want to discover your true potential for success, you've got to make setting goals a daily habit. This will equip you with laser focus towards what you actually desire, what you really want, and it will allow you to attract the opportunities for success that come towards you. Not with some magical attraction law or laws of attraction. It's not a secret of any kind. It's just that when you set goals, you bring opportunities to your attention, right? When you start thinking about what you really want, when you start setting goals and targets for actually accomplishing those things that you want, then what happens is you just recognize opportunities as they come along. The more you think about something, the more it occupies your mind. And the more something occupies your mind as you go about your day-to-day at your work, on your regular errands that you're handling on a day-to-day basis, you start thinking of ideas. You start coming up with things that you can do, actions you can take, ideas you can implement to actually bring those goals to reality. And so that's what we mean by attracting opportunities to you. To start setting goals for yourself, what you need to do is ask yourself the questions that will help you actually target those goals down, laser focus those goals. In other words, put some specificity behind them. So, in other words, what you want to ask yourself is, what do I really want from my life? Ask yourself this question as many times as it takes before you come up with a concrete answer that fills you with excitement and enthusiasm. It's almost impossible to hit a target that you can't see. So by finding a response to this question, you will know exactly what you need to actually work towards. And the more often you ask yourself this question, what you'll find is, if you ask yourself this question on a daily basis, you'll find that you will be able to hone in on exactly what it is that you truly do want. So one thing you might consider doing is pulling out a journal on a daily basis and writing out, what do I really want from my life? At the top of that page, all for that specific day, date it, and then go ahead and answer that question. Just answer that question. And what you'll find is day by day, you will begin to answer that question with more specific details. And you'll elaborate and you'll figure out what it is that you actually really do want. And what you'll find is a question that sounds so vague in the beginning will deliver an answer that is so incredibly specific and unique to you that it'll blow your mind. Big idea number 3, start at the beginning. Quote, your problem is to bridge the gap between where you are now and the goals you intend to reach. Earl Nightingale. Once you've decided on your goals and what those goals are for the future, the next step is to turn them into reality. How do you do that? Well, to do this, you need to look at where you're starting from. How are you doing? How far away are you from your goals? And what parts of your life are pushing you towards or against them? The answers to these questions will help you learn what you need to know to move forward. As an example, if your goal is to lose weight, for instance, you first need to know how much weight you need to lose. And in order to do that, you need to know how much you weigh in the first place. And this lets you know where you are starting from. It gives you a starting point, and it equips you to make the appropriate changes to get where you want to be, from where you are now to where you want to be. And if your goal is to earn more money, to increase your income, for instance, you need to know exactly how much you make right now, the month before, the year before, right? Figure out your current hourly rate so that it's simple for you to know, measure your results, and know when you're actually making progress towards your goal of increasing that income. Brian Tracy learned the importance of starting from the beginning firsthand. His own rags to riches story, it started when he was just 21 years old, living in a city apartment, too poor to go out on the town, buy a meal for himself. And what he learned early on was that the key to success, the key to reaching adulthood, was accepting responsibility for his own life, no matter what happens. Making this decision allowed him to not be trapped by his past, and it made it easier for him to dream as big as he possibly could, to start creating the future that he envisioned for himself. Starting from the beginning and achieving success, it's never easy, but it's always possible. According to the oil billionaire H.L. Hunt, the secret of success relied on two things: knowing exactly what you want and determining and paying the price to get there. High achievers are action-oriented. They know that reaching success will come at a cost. There's a price they need to pay, but rather than letting that discourage them, they get busy paying the price. They get busy sweating and bleeding and putting in the effort required in order for them to achieve the success that they desire. Big idea number 4, become an expert at your career. It's easier than you know to rise to the top ranks of your company. Most of the difference in moving up actually comes from how you view yourself and your own value to the business. A New York study found that the highest achievers in businesses around the world tended to view themselves as self-employed throughout their entire careers, no matter who was actually giving them the money. Now, this means whether you're working for a company, whether you're employed, or whether you're working for yourself, whether you're an entrepreneur, it makes no difference. You should view yourself as self-employed. That's a very big distinction that Tracy makes throughout the book. And so, regardless of who was actually giving them the money, they viewed themselves as self-employed. This sense of self-empowerment through self-employment pushed them to work harder, to work smarter, because they constantly had a sense that their work was going to benefit themselves as much as it benefited the company they were working for if they were working for a company. If you do the same thing, you'll be amazed how much more productive your work week becomes. In most businesses, the earnings are dramatically skewed. In fact, an 80-20 rule applies in the majority of companies. This means that, on average, 20% of the people are bringing in 80% of the money and earning the benefits in their salaries as well, by the way. Now, if you want to be part of this top tier that splits the majority of the wealth, then you need to make a decision to live a life that will get you there. One of the best ways to get paid more and promoted quickly is to be as dependable as possible. That means becoming indispensable, asking your boss for more responsibility, and getting your extra tasks done as quickly and as well as you possibly can. In little time, what you'll find is that you'll find your obligations around the office becoming increased, your responsibilities increasing, and your paycheck increasing proportionally as well. In the same way, find ways that you can be more productive with your time. The 80-20 rule also applies here. 20% of your workday accounts for 80% of your earnings. So you want to seek out ways you can do more of the 20% of highly productive activities, and you'll find your income rising in the process. Those that are at the top tier of their careers are lifelong learners. Ongoing learners. They are the types of people who are constantly improving themselves. So read books every day that apply to your field and sign up for courses and seminars whenever you can to increase your knowledge about your field. You'll stay cutting edge with all of this. You'll stay on the cutting edge of advances in your industry when you do this, which will help you to stay in the top tier of employees as well. Big idea number 5. Make visualizing and reviewing your goals a daily habit. Countless studies have shown that the key difference in successful leaders is their quality of vision. In order to achieve the goals you desire, you need to know exactly what they are and have a vision of what it will mean to be a success. In fact, most leaders embrace long-term perspectives and set goals for themselves that are meant to become a reality several years into the future. No matter how far in the future they choose to think, though, having tangible, concrete goals makes it easy for them to make the right decisions today to turn their vision into reality tomorrow. Now, it's not good enough to write down ambitious New Year's resolutions once a year. Instead, you need to face your goals every single day. Every morning, you should start the day by writing down 10 to 15 goals that you are trying to accomplish. Now, at first, it might be difficult to think of 10 things, but keep at it until you find a flow with yourself and develop the discipline to do this. And what you'll find is that you'll be able to fill that page with no problem after a couple of days. You might find yourself writing down different goals for the first few days, but after a month, your goals should be the same. Even better, your goals will become clear. They'll become sharp, and you will have a sense of what matters most to you when you do this and what you are willing to wait on. This is invaluable preparation to train your mind to turn these dreams into reality. Writing down your goals every day plants them deep into your subconscious mind, meaning that your brain will simmer on them, even when you're not aware of it, when you're sleeping, for instance. Then, when the opportunity comes to progress towards a goal, your brain will jump at the opportunity and you will be able to capture that opportunity. You'll be able to move forward faster than you ever expected towards attaining that goal. Big idea number 6, the 3 P's of goal setting. In order to have success with setting your goals, you've got to set them in a highly specific way that promotes success in the first place. Tracy tells us that we need to follow the 3 P's of goal setting: positive, present, and personal tense. Let's break each one of them down real quick. The first P is positive. You want to write down your goals in a way that's empowering to you, rather than focusing on your failures. For example, instead of saying, "I will quit smoking," you should say, "I am a non-smoker." This fills your subconscious or non-conscious mind with positive imagery and connotations that make these goal statements highly appealing to turn into reality. The second P is present. Don't create goals that leave your accomplishments to the future. Instead, you want to write them down as if they were already a reality. Instead of saying something like, "I will earn $100,000 in the next year," you should say, "I earn $100,000 per year." The third P is personal. Make sure your goals are written down exactly like the self-talk that they are. This means beginning every sentence with "I" and following it with a verb. Your subconscious will interpret this as a command, and it'll work to make it a reality as quickly as possible. Writing down your goals as powerful personal statements tells your subconscious exactly what's expected of it. It's almost as if the factory floor of your mind was receiving a production order from the head office. It just goes to work immediately to bring that goal into reality. So, for example, instead of saying, "My goal is to earn $100,000 per year," you would say, "I earn $100,000 per year." Begin each of your goals with phrases such as "I earn," "I weigh," "I achieve," "I win," "I live in such and such a home," "I climb such and such a mountain," and so on. Now, as you are trying to habitualize these 3 P's of goal setting, just remember not to let doubt creep in when you're creating these goals. You've got to be completely convinced, totally convinced of the fact that they will become a reality for you, or you're not going to get your subconscious to accept them. Believe your goals. Proceed with confidence, and you'll be amazed at what you're really capable of. Big idea number 7, stay flexible. Quote, "When I have finally decided that a result is worth getting, I go ahead on it and make trial after trial until it comes." Thomas Edison. Oftentimes, the people that have achieved the most success are also the ones that withstood the most failures. Edison is personally responsible for most of the technological advances of the 20th century, but he also holds the record for the most failed inventions in history. His eventual success came from his ability to be flexible and to work towards goals that he cared about over and over and over again, no matter how many failures came in the process. The rule of flexibility is to be crystal clear about your goal, but to be flexible enough in what the process of achieving it will look like, knowing that flexibility is key. Rigid thinking is the antithesis of success. It forces your mind into fixed and mechanical thinking that ensures a simple problem will shut down everything. In contrast, flexible thinking allows you to embrace new opportunities that come along and change your strategy when it simply isn't working. It's important to continuously develop backup plans and alternative strategies for achieving success. Otherwise, your attempts for greatness will get lost in the mediocre efforts of average people. So don't let your ego impact your judgment to the point that you can't make smart decisions on the fly. Always be ready to admit when you're wrong. And when you've made a mistake and when you change your mind, just own it. If you make a mistake, emphatically admit the fact, hey, I've just made a mistake. When you change your mind, that's okay. Go ahead and say it out loud. I've changed my mind. My strategy for success has shifted, and this is what I'm going with now. This will prevent your business and your personal life from spiraling through systems of rigid thinking, and it will allow you to change and evolve with every new discovery on your path to success. Big idea number 8. Push towards your goals every day until you succeed. Quote, "My success evolved from working hard at the business at hand every day." Johnny Carson. In order for success to occur, you need to be putting in the required work on a daily basis, every day. This means living an action-oriented life and being willing to always work harder and harder and trying new things. Start your days early and work later into the day, because actively working on your goals is the only way to turn them into reality, right? If you linger over lunch breaks or are the first to leave the office in the evenings, the last to walk in the first place, your chances of truly achieving everything you want are going to be a lot more difficult. In the words of Thomas Jefferson, determine never to be idle. Don't waste your time, and you won't have reason to regret it passing by so quickly. In order to get the most out of life, you're going to need to put all of yourself into it. So work towards your goals with the single-minded pursuit of someone who knows that it can be done. Once goal achievement begins to occur for you, the momentum that you've created is just going to keep on going. Success breeds success. So by working towards what you want with everything that you can, you'll be sure to accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Closing notes. The key takeaway from goals is this: you can achieve your biggest dreams in life so long as you know what they are. The process is never going to be easy, but articulating your goals will give you a roadmap to journey with. Without tangible, fleshed-out goals that provide actionable steps for success, you'll travel through life in a fog. But writing down your goals on a daily basis will clear that fog up and move you towards accomplishing things that will astound everyone around you, including yourself. Actionable insights. You become what you think about most of the time. So train your mind to think about what you want to accomplish most. Write down your goals on a daily basis every single day, and you'll feed your subconscious with the tools of success. Have clear, actionable steps in mind for achieving your goals so that you can jump on opportunities when they present themselves. And finally, do not be afraid to work hard. The most successful people in life are always in motion.